big mistake.
What are we doing out here?
I mean, that's
what are we doing out here?
You know, here we are, and we're being very nice, and we should be.
We're
I
doing
mean,
a
peaceful.
festival. We are not doing a party. We are busy trying to put a festival
What?
on.
Let's go with Sandra.
No, right.
No,
That's not what I'm doing.
I am saying that the outward impression, and that's exactly what somebody was saying earlier, is that we are all organized. It is all done. We are. I would really like to break the amplifiers at this point and ask for a lot of help getting it together.
Good, do it.
You want to do it? Go on.
Is this meeting being chaired from that side of the circle?
There's no chair.
Well, it's operating that way, man.
My question is, I'm wondering, do we as a group here have a reason for being here, other than well, some of the reasons I've heard have been everything from acting as a crowd control to promoting some music festival to having a very great interest in the historical event of just the fact that there are so many people that are concerned from so many different countries that have come here in order to just talk about where their concern is. So far from all the discussions I've seen, whether the discussions have been here or whether the discussions have been in town at some big building and there's been a panelist in the whole trip, it seems like all we're doing is expressing concern. But so far around here, my feeling at many times has been one of there hasn't been much discussion as what do we all feel as human beings on the face of the earth, not we versus them, us versus the Swedes versus so-and-so, Japanese and whatever, but as people that are existing on the face of the earth talking about how the hell we can live better together. I haven't, personally, I don't know, I think there should be more of that, and I think that we shouldn't be interested too much in how many people show up here, whether or not there's going to be a good film footage out of it, or you know, what kind of, you know, whether or not there becomes a list of 39 articles that says okay.
Too much talking, man. Let's do something, huh?
Right.
I want to hear what this guy has to say.
The meeting, ain't it? You don't want the meeting to go out and do something. So then shut up, he's saying something.
Is it all right if I interject about doing something? I heard this was a family meeting, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy to see a whole lot of faces I don't know in this family meeting. That means to me that something's happening out here.
That's what I want. I like to say too, if I could, like you talk about. You mentioned crowd. We came here for crowd control. The crowds, right? We thought there were going to be a lot of people here. They're not here, so that's beyond the board. David came to do a movie because we thought there was going to be a movie here. It does not seem there's a movie here, so that's behind the board. Ain't no big thing. David is not overly upset about it. David, right? We're just, Andy was throwing those things in. I don't think David is super upset. I don't think anybody else here is really super upset. What we're doing, as I can see, is we've started to build a place to handle crowds, to entertain people, where discussions could go down. The facility is being used on a very limited basis. If it stays this way, it's okay with me. You're talking about people talking together about how we as human beings can learn to live together. I think that there is a living experiment or a living project of that happening right here. There are people from different countries learning to live together in this campground, and that experience will be valuable. And if no more people show up here than the number of people that are in this circle, that's okay with me too. You know, I don't know about it. I've been busy, but I'm having a good time. Now, I don't know about anybody else.
Lots of people ain't, Lou.
I know.
Yeah,
Lots and lots of people ain't.
Can I just get one?
One of the things are wrong. You see, like this meeting is right on the concrete. And that's what's wrong. As far as I'm concerned, that's the indication of what's wrong since the minute we got here.
Okay,
We should be on the what?
I'm ready to move.
Right.
It's a whole bunch of
So
gas
our
right over
vibration
there.
goes to the earth.
Good job.
No.
Just take it one at a time. I mean, you can do anything.
Around the teepee.
Can't see each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there
That's
is.
what I mean by
But I don't think it's, you
But
know.
are
it
we
seems,
lying?
No, it don't seem that way. It just seems confused.
I should
Right.
say it's harder when you're on the ground. I didn't say people were. I just said it's harder to bullshit when you're on the earth, man.
That's what
You're right.
she's talking about, you know. What's that word, man?
What? Speak. So far, as I have seen this thing, it's only been the TV viewers mainly who's come to the stage, and that means that the communication through TV worked, but that's the only communication that worked. Between the people, there has been, you have been publicly denounced by the People's Forum, and that means that the from people to people communication doesn't work.
I'm not sure about that.
And I have a suggestion, and that's that we print up about 10,000 leaflets on which we say that welcome to Skarpnäck and bring what you have in your cupboard with you.
That's good.
Yeah. I disagree with that one. I mean,
And there's
I do not think that we need to use more paper again, just to say the same thing that we can say, that we are saying with our actions, and the point is being communicated by those people whose eyes are open to what is really happening, rather than to those people who automatically resort to a piece of paper in order to make their own mind as to what is happening. If you come here and you want to see what is really happening, you see it. We do not have to write it, we do not have to scream it out loud, because once you resort to all those other forms of communication, it means that the real form of communication, which is doing it, is failing you.
A leaflet ain't a bad thing, Dolphin, compared to the amount of trees that have been slaughtered for people to communicate in this conference. One simple leaflet, I'm sure the trees would be pleased, man.
Maybe a small one, a small leaflet, an ecological.
A leaf.
Rice paper.
Rice paper. I want to argue your point there.
Waste paper.
Because there ain't gonna be no party unless there people come here, and that's what it's all about.
I don't want to have a party. I'm not interested in a party. All you've been talking about doing is getting high and having a party. I'm here because I think the world is going to die.
Well, that's what the party's about.
Wait, let
maybe
her
it's a
speak.
wake up.
Let her speak.
Let her
The
speak,
chance I've got to talk to all the people around the world. And I've got a lot of love in my heart for all of those people, man. I don't want to have a party and get high. The only time you can ever be high is when you're into full consciousness, into full cosmic consciousness, and you only get there out of good acts, man, and out of doing far out things that turn you on.
We're talking about the same thing,
Karen.
Any other way, I would be just sitting in a trailer shooting drugs and not talking about a meeting at all. Okay? What I'm saying is this: that if the world is going to die,
Why can't you finish?
The meeting,
Well, damn it, let her finish.
Like, to me, we are in a position now where the Swedish government has been highly insulted by our country and by the fascists that run our country. No, not the United States I'm talking about. All right, you know, I'm talking to Americans. It's American. And to me, well, all right, it's not true. I made a mistake. I wasn't. So, to me, what's happening is this is the one time that we have a chance to say that we don't, you know, like, we could all get together and come behind and support the UN and stop fighting among ourselves, man. That's all everybody in every group that I've gone to has been doing, is fighting among themselves. And it's diversifying our energies from facing up to the fact that this is the first time we have a lot of energy to stop those people that are polluting and killing and are so insensitive. It's the first time that we got a chance to come together and say, come on, man, let's stop them. The straights, the hippies, every kind of person, every racial balance, we're here together, man. Let's get it on. Let's not fight. Let's not talk. It's not happening. It's not happening, man, because we're not adding anything to the cosmic consciousness of getting it together. And if we were all united, realizing what point is being done here, you know, at that point, we'd get it on, you know?
it's my experience that if it ain't a dance, then you're not adding to that cosmic consciousness at all.
That's your way.
That's right.
That's
So
your
I
tactic.
agree with you.
I thought it was
I
your
tend-
way.
I
to
have a
get,
plot.
But let's go dance.
wait a
Let's go
minute.
dance.
Wait a
Let's go
minute.
dance in the
It's
street,
not-
man, with love.
It is my way, okay? But I'm not gonna lay my way on anybody,
Well,
man. And that's what's been happening here, you dig, since we fucking been here. And I've been trying to, to get that voice out. And no one
Let him
fucking
finish,
listens.
Andy.
He said it. Is he finished?
No, I'm not finished, man.
Okay.
While I have,
Oh, he
while
can
I
go for
have
days if
the
he wants.
focus, I'd like to say a few things about why I think we're here,
Okay, why?
I think we're here because we've been told that in the next 30 or 40 years, most of the major natural resources on which most of this whole technological gearing that most of us depend on for life in the cities, etc., is going to be expended, okay? That life as we know it, if we don't make certain very drastic changes in the way we use resources, okay, it is just not going to exist in the fashion that we've ever known it. Now, there's several levels that I see. One is there's the way of teaching people to live next to the land, the way of teaching people to deal with identity loss, which will surely come when people identify themselves with their tools. They identify themselves with cars. Now, what happens to the broad, vast group of middle-class people who have cars when there's no more gasoline, you dig? When that identity loss is brought on them, when suddenly they can identify themselves with a car and so on and so forth, Like what I see that we have the potential to do, you dig, is to teach people to live, near the land, near the earth again, to live in relationship and in harmony, with that. The basic thing is this. I think all of us felt that, or I felt in any event, that the UN conference was going to be a farce. I really believe that that's the feeling of European youth, at least the ones I've spoken to, And the one thing that keeps being said back to me is, why haven't we, made some statement to that effect? Well, I'm not, now, I'm not necessarily saying that should be a verbal statement. I'm not necessarily saying that you can't state that in nonverbal ways, But at the same time, it's like I think that I think that part of what's happened here is this: that we're not. In certain regards, we're not as politically aware as a lot of people are here. They've recognized very instantaneously what we have here, what we, quote, Americans have here. We have tools, okay? We have tools. And the name of the game in the name of planetary survival, so far as I'm concerned, is sharing the tools, Sharing the tools involves identity loss, It involves us not identifying ourselves with our tools anymore. This is my tool, or this is so on and so forth. And it involves everybody having access to the tools. And I don't believe everybody in this camp has access to the tools. A lot of that's because of fear it'll get ripped off, or it'll get broken, or this I'm responsible, and so on and so forth. Well, fuck, we're all responsible for this planet, man, and there's not a camera, not a bus, not anything in this fucking camp that is worth balancing against the survival of this planet and against the communication that could happen here in Stockholm.
I correct your statement that there are 2 odd video people that are here that are using general equipment, are using those video tools.
Okay,
and those video
I'm not
tools
I'm not saying
our saws have been used, our hammers have been used. I don't understand what you mean.
Let me qualify that. Okay, let me qualify that. Let me say this. I just don't feel that it's been adequately communicated to the rest of the people that are involved with us here, okay? That those tools are free for them to use. You dig? All they experience is, I want to do this, and they say, well, find Lou, and well, where's Lou? Well, Lou's in town. Well, where's the keys? And so on and so forth. You dig? I'm not saying that there's anybody here been consciously stopping anybody really necessarily from using the tools, although I have seen that happen too. It's just that. One thing is, I think, by and large, most of the communications that we've put out have been in English, And a lot of Swedish people do speak English, and that's great. But at the same time, I can personally consider it a kind of rank imperialism to come here and attempt to communicate, with the turf that we're existing in, with our, the host country, and to continually address them in English, And I think that, number one, making everything bilingual, and that's
one thing we're working on in the print shop there, you know. It is trying to make everything bilingual, you know. Trying to.
That was the intention when we started.
It's true, but it hasn't been happening.
Well, we've had a lot of intentions.
Incredible. I think the most was the whale yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I would really like to. I mean, what I'm trying to do, Chet. Okay. Right now, you've been there for 5-6 minutes. Okay. What I've been trying to do, you know, this morning and pulling this together was to say, you know, fuck the party here. Let's get out and do stuff.
Right.
That will make this party automatic.
Right.
I
Sure.
mean, the party is always the celebration because it's happening. And what I think has happened to us here is that we have attempted to put together scenes. Okay, everybody dance now.
It's a manufactured thing.
Right, exactly.
Andy, you can talk louder than that and still be comfortable. I swear, otherwise I'll get you some lozenges.
My throat is hurting, my baby. I really have nothing happening down here. It's all coming out of my throat, you know.
Well, then shut up.
Yeah.
or start writing stuff down.
Okay. All right, I'll say it again.
Stand up and walk around and
All right, I'll just say it again.
Project.
All I'm saying is this: that the thing that seemed to get most people high yesterday was to take that whale down to town. And I think that what I'm saying is that we have manufactured a party out here, and you cannot manufacture a party.
It's a
and
plastic
it is my
party.
intention to try and get together with some folks who want to go out and do stuff that will get us high enough so that the party goes on automatic. And we want to have a party, and that's all. And I am not into having a stage or doing nothing with that stage until it feels right to do it.
The first few days we were here, you know, when this was being constructed, everything was fairly loose. People were camped all around, people were making acoustic music. And I come along Sunday, and you put that goddamn music on, canned music, and you left it on all day, see? And you created this show atmosphere, carnival, where all the straights and the tourists hang out by the blasting music instead of sitting down on the ground next to a freak smoking a little or playing a drum or doing something. They were standing around. And I came over and I told you, see, that it was too much electric music going all the time. People weren't just hanging out and doing what they felt good about.
Ben, am I allowed to fuck up?
And
Am I allowed to fuck up?
Sure you are.
Okay.
You may fuck up.
I'm on you. Hey, I am now saying what you were saying to me three days ago. That's all. Okay.
Well,
I'm a little slower. That's all.
the thing is, see, when we come here originally, some people, I don't know what other people came for, but we kind of thought it was going to be a big camp.
That's
and,
what everybody
we were going to
thought.
live together for 2 weeks.
Right.
Harmoniously, live together, you know what I mean? Cook food, and just, that was going to be the energy. Not to keep people out of the city or to put them into the city, neither one. And then all of a sudden it became a show. Became the focus, like electric lights. Like, I consider that a crime. Personally, I'm going to say it right out front. The amount of electricity that's been used here is a crime, man. This is our mother. She gives us a certain amount of energy, but we've been overusing it all over the world. And we come right here, and you set up this instant media center with telephones, too much electricity going all the time. See, it wasn't minimal use. It wasn't like, well, we got to use it once in a while, so let's use it at night, have a band, and have a good time. Think about it. When should we use the electricity? It was like, we got it, let's put it on all fucking day. Let's put on the tapes, let's put on spotlights. No, man.
Music all day long.
Come on now, Ben.
That stuff hasn't been running at all.
There's only been
It
lights
hasn't
about
been
half
running
an
for
hour
2-3
every
days
night.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of lights, Lena.
Sure.
That just light
It was
shows.
wrong, and we dug it.
It's talking
and
about
it was
electric lights.
corrected. What we're looking for now is common denominators, like taking the whale downtown. That was something that we could all hook into. That was a common thing. Setting the stuff up. Now that we got it all set up, we're looking for other things that we can all center on to get high. One of the problems, it seems to me, is sure that we're not bilingual, and we're having a hell of a time getting Swedish people to hang out to the point that we can disseminate information and bring it back in Swedish.
I don't think that's true.
Well,
I don't think that's true, man. I mean,
that's just been my experience.
Sven has been here. There's been a dozen people here who are willing to help. Ula's been translating the Indian things into Swedish and so on and so forth. I think it's purely a matter of thoughtfulness or thoughtlessness. You know?
I have asked a number of times at stage announcements 3 days ago.
That's the where we're having the problem, Chet.
When we were running the PA out of the bus, I have asked over and over again on every English announcement, I have asked local Swedish people to please make the translation in Swedish. And many times, just through mic fright, through, you know, being reticent to hear their voice amplified, it has been very difficult to get that done. Jeff, who's been working on building the stage, has been one of the most consistent people who has made himself available to do that and has looked, you know, and has been anxious to do that. We've tried, Chet. We've really been trying.
What we could all do, okay?
No, everybody takes care of.
Shut up! When I walk down the streets in Stockholm, okay, the one thing that I find I constantly have to explain to people is that in spite of the fact that I'm a freak and in spite of the fact that they know that freaks are repressed to a certain extent in the States, okay, a lot of people still have not made the connection that because I'm an American, I don't stand for the war, okay?
Yeah.
And it's like basically yesterday, there was a big thing that went on in the UN conference in which the Swedish Prime Minister made a statement that no conference could really be meaningful that did not discuss the fact that war was the major cause of pollution right now, okay? And it's like the American, no countries were named or anything like that. Now the American representative immediately started defending himself. He didn't speak to anybody else in the world. He just held a private press conference and basically accused Sweden of insulting the United States. Okay? Now, there are many of and there are many people here in Sweden that basically feel that we're collaborators, basically, you know, that we're collaborating with the Swedish establishment.
Tools is what they're saying.
Well, the basic thing is this, you know, that I don't think that's the case, but I think there are dramatic ways to demonstrate that that's not the case, you know. And like, I'm not a very political person. I'm a dancer, and that's the way I get high, you know. It's like, but I feel this, you know. I feel personally that I'd be willing to walk into Stockholm, you know. I'd be willing to cover myself personally, you know, with gunny sacks and mark my face with ashes, you know, put shit in my hair or whatever, you know, and just go, you know, with as many people that would go and just make some attempt to make some statement that we're against the war, you know.
Chet, that's been a plot from the very beginning.
There's no
Wait a minute.
Our whole lifestyle is against the war. Everything we're